Ladies and gentlemen, this is Pete Wall once again here on Pillar to Post. I'm going to take these glasses off because I see an awful glare. Once again, back to announce another publication, another release. Yes, this was released on the 21st of July 2019. Now, I've made my announcements on Twitter, I've made my announcements on Facebook. I have not done so yet on YouTube, but I have been a very busy man. Um, life is busy in the wall domain, so I'm finally taking the time to sit down and discuss the new publication. It is right there on the screen, titled "Vampire: The Second Race." Now, when a lot of people think vampire, they think Dracula, they think Anne Rice, they think Twilight. Um, I wanted to step away from that. I wanted something new. I wanted something I'm hoping is different. Now, my vampires, they will not glitter when the sun catches their ass. You know, um, my vampires, they are not prissy. They are not warm and caring. They are warriors. They have been bred to defend their race. Now, I did a lot of thinking when it came to writing these stories. I wanted a clear and precise direction of where I wanted to go, and so it took a little researching on my end, as well as delving into areas I'm not usually one to delve into. Now, there are plenty of theories out there of the human race. One theory being that we are the third race of man. The first and second race having been wiped out by cataclysms, and man having to evolve once again and become who we are. So I played with that a little bit. I wanted my vampires to be of the second race, and they, by all intents and purposes, to the third race, were destroyed in the cataclysm that took out the first race. And I wanted their history to be tied into the pyramids. No one truly knows how old the pyramids truly are. No one really knows what the pyramids were made for. Also, the mythology of Atlantis. I wanted that tied into my second race as well. Now, the second race was not always vampire. See, the second race came across old structures of the first race, and in the end, they discovered a frozen body of a member of the first race. They found that the first race of man lived for thousands of years. They began experimenting on this body that they found, and they believed they found the cure for death. They found immortality. Well, it came at an awful price. Many died in the experiments, but in the end, they did find their immortality. But immortality, who's to say how long that it really is? Is it everlasting life? Well, they found that out. No, it's not. See, their immortality only lasts for 1,000 years. Now, for 990 plus years, they look around the age of anywhere from 25 to 30 years old. But once they hit that last decade, that is when they begin to age and show their signs of age. And when they die, they look like very much a 90 to 100-year-old human being. Now, these experiments also brought on side effects, and that would be the vampirism. Now, like I said, I wanted my vampires to be far different. And in my mind, it always troubled me that a superior being, like a vampire is supposed to be, would feed on a lesser and inferior being, such as a human. How would you gain strength by feeding off the blood of an inferior species? It just didn't make sense in my head. So I had to change that. I didn't want them to feed on humans. I wanted them to have a cycle. See, they eat just like a normal person would. They have their meat and potatoes. They hunt for their food, whatnot. You know, they cook it. They don't eat it raw. They don't suck the blood off the slab of steak that they're about to fry up, or what have you. So I wanted them to be very much able to eat like a normal person, but still have that vampirism, that need to feed. So I put it on a 30-day cycle. Every 30-ish days, they needed to feed to sustain their vitality, their strength. And what better way to do it than have them feed off the opposing sex? So the way I've done it is a male will feed off of a female vampire, and a female will feed off a male. Now they don't kill each other. You can't have a species wiping themselves out and still being all powerful and whatnot. But here's the thing: the original vampire race is very frail. Now they are stronger than normal man, but they can still die very easily. And after a folly, which will be spoken of in episode 1 of Vampire the Second Race, um, a human begins a group called the Van Helsing group, and they begin to hunt vampires into extinction. Now the vampire race, they found a way to avoid their fate in a cataclysm by going deep underground, building cities underground, inner earth, you might say. And they do literally go back underground, and they begin a breeding process where they they breed a warrior class of vampire. And these are the warriors that you will get to know in this series. Season 1, or Series 1 if you will be introducing you to the the Red Skulls. The Red Skulls are a warrior class located within the United States of America, and for all intents and purposes, the location I chose was Detroit. Now, the setting is a recovery time of a great war. You can call it World War III, World War IV. Some look at Vietnam as World War III. And, to go along with that, you could call it World War IV. Now, the Earth was almost destroyed by itself, by man's stupidity. But seeing what they were going to do to themselves, they drew a peace, started rebuilding. While the vampire race, they decided to come back up above and fight their war the best way they could. And that is to go head to head with the Van Helsing group and a species that they created themselves known as the Wolven. Now the Wolven, and many of you might think the same way as I do, werewolves have become very cliche as of the last 10-20 years in the movies, as well as the written word. They are no longer half man, half beast. They are now just oversized wolves that men turn into. There's no body of a man with claws and and feet like a wolf and a head like a wolf. No, they are just oversized freaking puppy dogs. It doesn't bring any fear into the heart of any reader. And I want my werewolves to be the way they should be, half man, half beast. Now, a lot of people will take the name literal, and when I call them wolven, it means wolf. No. See, there are different breeds of wolven. There are the wolf, as well as felines, and possibly others. We'll find that out as we venture into the series. Like I said, season 1 is basically to introduce you to the main players of the stories and the main adversaries of the vampire. So get ready, folks, because it is already out on publication. As you can see before you, Monolith likes to call them episodes. So episode 1 of season 1, now available, and I will have the link below. I'm going to leave the rest for you to discover of the vampire. And make sure you send me personally, if you want, your thoughts, your opinions on the story. And right now we are discussing a monthly edition being released, 1 episode per month or / chapter a month. I might talk to Mark, the man behind publicating issues of Monolith, and maybe we do a bi-weekly installment. So episode 1, episode 2 will come out in 1 month, and then the next month will be followed with 2 more chapters until all 6 episodes / chapters are released. Now, right now it is only available in digital download, but following all publications of all 6 episodes / chapters, there will be a paperback edition, and I'm pretty sure that will be located in Lulu.com. But for now, I want you to follow the link in the description I placed below. Check out my version of Vampires. Tell me what you think, your thoughts on the story, and if you're going to continue the read. And it is right now $1.99 per download, so it's not a substantial amount of money you have to shill out to get your copy of episode 1 and follow the story as it goes through. Like I said, there's 6 episodes / chapters in season / series 1, and we're going to follow that up with season / series 2. And I say season / series because I like to call it a series, whereas Monolith likes to call it a season, and a chapter is an episode. So get ready, folks, because Vampire, I want to continue it, and hopefully those that do take the opportunity to read Vampire the Second Race are going to be drawn in and continue to read the series till it is fully published, and get your cult tune after it's all been out on digital download, and it will be available on paperback. I am Pete Wall, the author of Vampire the Second Race, as well as Stories Within Wasteland, as well as Dragon's Kin and Dragon's Gate Part 2. I want to thank you very much for sitting through this with me. Have a great evening, a great night. Always have a better tomorrow, folks. I'm out of here.